Hey, everybody, and welcome to Hair the Dogcast.
Wow, is this on already?
This is on, Tom. Yes.
I like your energy.
Yes. It's not the usual energy, but we do what we can around here.
No, it's good. I like it. You know, I'd be like, hey, everybody, welcome to a brand new episode. That's, yeah.
That was good.
That's muscle memory.
Yeah, because you still have it. You never lost it.
Still got it, baby.
This is Hair the Dogcast, your favorite Milwaukee podcast about video games and beer and video games. We are part of the HyperX Podcast Network, proud members of that. Check out all those amazing shows at podcast.hyperx.com. And we are here today with one of the founding fathers of the Dogcast. Very happy.
407 wave files ago. Hi.
Probably a few more than 7.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, this is Tom. Tom of the Dogcast. I'm back for this episode.
We called in the big guns for this episode. Right. Because both Dylan and Tyler weren't able to be here today. And I'm like, Tom, I need help.
Absolutely. Always happy to help out. And you've helped me out immensely the last few months. So,
yeah.
Always willing to repay.
Yeah. I don't want food or beer when I help you move. I want you to come podcast.
Right.
Whenever I need you.
Hey, that's all right. I'll pay in podcasts.
So, a long time ago, on a podcast far away,
yeah,
I won I think it was a quiz, or is this the New Year's? It wasn't for New Year's, I don't think.
Was it? It was some contest. Maybe it wasn't. I think it was a quiz.
Okay.
Right? Was it the trivia thing, maybe? Whatever. Yeah.
What we're getting at here is, this is, Tom, you tell us about this beer, because I don't know anything really about it, but I know this is one of your favorite beers ever made.
Yes, we've had this a couple times on the podcast in podcast past. This is the West Vleteren 12, straight out of an abbey in Belgium, considered and rated one of the best beers in the world, if not the best beer in the world, depending on when you check rate beer.
Yes.
It kind of fluctuates.
I know it's not Diablo Immortal.
No, it's not. And it is a fantastic Belgian quad, I believe, and it's very rare, and yes, and expensive. So
yeah, because you let me choose whenever that was what beer to get, and I went for this one, and I could tell you really didn't want me to choose that one.
What? Oh no, I'm glad you chose it, especially now since you're sharing it with me.
Yeah,
so at least I get half of it.
Yeah. So, yes, that's what we're drinking here.
Sweet.
Cheers.
Cheers. Right on. I have one of those bottles left. And I was saving it.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, it's just the right temperature, too. Thank you for taking it out of the refrigerator.
Well, I remember it's been a while, but you said, no, this is very important beer, Brett, so you have to make sure you know what you're doing with this one.
This one comes with instructions.
Yeah.
Don't feed it after midnight.
Yeah, you gave me like a 10-page document, printed out.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, just sign on it.
Read the manual before enjoying this beverage.
Yeah. So I have one more of these bottles left out of a 6-pack that I imported from Belgium like 2 years ago. And I was going to drink it after I moved into my new place. It's going to be my first beer. And then I just put it so far back in the refrigerator that I'm too lazy to bust it out. So I think I had like a Miller Lite or something, or maybe a
Mexican honey or something.
Oh, sure. Many of those.
Yeah.
So, all right. You talk video games on this podcast, right?
We still do. It's been a while. You might not have heard the show in a bit.
Yeah, I've kind of forgotten what video games are. So,
Tom, you're still a gamer. What have
maybe
you?
Not capital G,
lowercase g. But what have you been playing besides mobile games?
Well, it's been a weird couple months, at least since I finished Elden Ring.
Because you did finish Elden Ring.
I did finish Elden Ring, and I'm sure I'm not alone that game kind of consumed me, and so being so entrenched in a game, and then after that game's done, after I finally pried myself away from it, sometimes finding a new game is hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least this time it was. So I've been dabbling in a bunch of stuff. So I immediately tried to try out Cyberpunk now that the next gen patch was out. And I bounced off of that right away.
It didn't work.
Not because I didn't like it. It was just after finishing Elden Ring and just being immersed in like this world, I'm like, this Cyberpunk is not the game I need right now, because it's another time sink, and it will give
Yeah.
back. It'll give back to you as much as you want to put into it, as far as like I said, being immersed in the world, but learning all the jargon and whatnot.
Did it feel like it's playable now? Like it's with all the new patches, it's where it should be?
Oh yes. So after I bounced off of that, I tried Far Cry 6. I had that on the back burner. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just do a Far Cry game. And again, coming from Elden Ring, a big open world, turns out my body wasn't ready for another gargantuan open world. So I've just been kind of plodding around, trying different things. And I finally came back to Cyberpunk. It had been long enough. I'm like, maybe I'll give Cyberpunk a chance because nothing else was sticking. And now that game finally stuck. And that is what I am playing right now. And I'm here to say that I don't know if I hate to say it, but it's actually a really good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not so far into it, but it is a very, very immersive world. And I'm all in for it right now. It's actually really good.
That's awesome.
At least so far.
Yeah.
So maybe it fucking jumps the shark at some point, but just ran into Keanu, and I love the I'm intrigued by his the way he's implemented in the game. It's kind of interesting. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks great. I haven't encountered any bugs. And
Yeah.
I'm playing on the Series X, so it's got the next quote unquote next gen patch. And so far things seem okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still know blissfully nothing about that game. So when I am ready to jump in,
Yep.
I find myself more and more lately wanting to desperately avoid video game trailers and
Yes.
reviews. Today's episode is about not avoiding any of that. But yeah.
Yeah, I would say if you got to be ready for a game like that, it's like getting into The Witcher or any of the CD Projekt games. You have to be in the right mindset, ready to just fucking give yourself all
Yeah.
to the game and be willing to look at glossary and dictionary entries, which are really well implemented in the game. But, it doesn't...
It's not light.
It's not light. It doesn't like try to explain to you like, oh, this is what this term means. This is what this term means. I mean, they're immediately just throwing like, oh, you're a net runner. You're a fucking solo. You're a blah, blah, blah. And you're like, what is all this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's pretty fulfilling.
I've been playing Disco Elysium.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And I had the same issue that you did with Cyberpunk.
Yep.
Because coming from Elden Ring, which I put in probably 160 hours into that game at this point, and Disco Elysium is not Elden Ring. It is a different game, and it's one of those things I didn't know anything about going into it. And we'll talk about that game later in Indie Games Month, but it didn't work at first. I was just like, I can't read and listen to this much dialogue. You really need a different mind frame to sit there because it's just wordy and minimal gameplay,
Right.
really cool systems. And once it clicked, I'm like, all right, I'm in, but I cannot listen to Meathead or whatever his name is talk about race theory for an hour. I mean, I can't. And I've gotten comfortable at the point now where I'll listen to what I want to, and then I just click through the rest and try and just catch the big points because there's just so much dialogue for every character. Okay. And
I like how you say listen to, because I played it before the final cut came out, where some was voice acted, but most of it wasn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep. And like you, the first time I played it, I bounced off of it pretty hard. I'm like, I'm not ready to read all this shit. But this looks very interesting, and so that was one where I think I played it for maybe an hour and a half, bounced off, and maybe 6-7 months later, I'm like, all right, let's give it another go. And that time it just stuck. And that, to me, I think I mentioned it on the podcast before, that is probably a top 4 game for me.
Oh, really? But
all time.
You played computer PC, right?
Yes.
It doesn't play great on the Series X. It looks great. My guy cannot walk the way I tell him to.
Okay.
He gets caught up on things, and it's just...
I wonder if you can plug in a mouse.
Maybe.
Will they let you do that?
It's a game designed for point and click, and that is not the way that I've been playing it. Maybe I would enjoy the gameplay more, but...
Yeah.
I just love the systems. I love the roles, and I love the inner monologue from...
great.
Yeah, and that's a game that I can tell it would play. The story would play out very differently depending on my initial stats.
The writing might be the best writing I've ever experienced in a game, and I don't know how far you are, and I won't give any spoilers, but just the way the story pays off in just some of the coolest ways.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's
because it's easy to get bogged down in the jargon. They talk about so many different locations and peoples.
Yes.
And my guy is just like, I don't know who I am, and I'm really hungover. For days at a time.
Right. It's a good take on the whole Final Fantasy character with the amnesia, the JRPG. You're just a drunk police detective.
But instead of saying nothing, you say, I want to make fuck with you. I said that within the first 5 minutes of the game. I was like, whoa.
And also some of the best characters, man. I could make probably like a 10-part series on that game because it's just, I love it.
I think that I went to school with some Kunos back in the day.
Fucking Kuno time.
Yeah. But the topic of today's episode, we don't have like a specific topic other than there's been so many announcements and showcases and trailers.
Yeah.
And just a lot of things happening over the past month. And I thought it'd be good to just kind of shoot the shit, and we'll go reverse chronologically. What's the most recent we know, and we'll just kind of talk our way back about what we're excited about.
Sure.
And starting with something a lot of people might not even think about, something that I'm excited for. Bloodstained had an announcement on June 17th, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Yes, I got an email from Iga himself.
Dear Tom, thanks for being my friend.
Here's the roadmap, and I forgot. I'm like, you're still working on this game? Where's it? Just go to the sequel, man.
I didn't know there was a roadmap as well, and I saw that, and I said, there's 2 new playable characters that I haven't even tried yet. Bloodless is out, and then there's this other new character.
Yeah. Wasn't like Celeste in there or something?
Eleanor or Avatar or something. Not Celeste. Okay. There's like a new fairy character from some other franchise. But.
Okay. I booted it up actually last week, and I just saw some new characters, and one was like a little girl with like some kind of fairy mechanic. And
they have like a classic mode, which plays more like a traditional Castlevania. That's really cool.
I tried that. Yep.
It's definitely not it's not the game that it was like designed to be, but it's fun and it's cool that they put it in there.
Yeah, it's like the first level they try to mimic like the first Castlevania.
Yeah,
the boss is actually like a bat or like a flying. They designed it to be almost a 1-to-1 with the first level of NES Castlevania.
And yes, make a new game. I'm happy you're doing a roadmap, but
is it like PvP, or I suppose you have the
fucking weird. Okay,
what?
They announced there's going to be a new in-game area which serves as a crossover with a non-Bloodstained franchise. So a new area of the castle will be made available.
Okay,
which Call
of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty. I think it's going to be Halo with all the other crossovers coming. Fall of this year, there's going to be Chaos and Versus modes featuring local online co-op, and then one of them is a PvP mode. So I can't imagine this is a co-op game.
I can't. Yeah, I don't know how they would do that. I mean, unless it's like that one Castlevania game that was
Harmony
of
Despair or whatever it was. Yeah,
where it was like 4.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they just tack on an extra person in there. I don't fucking know.
No one's asking for these things. It's cool. Like, fine, we'll take it. It's free. Yeah. I'm happy to take more free content, but it's just strange. Just because I understand your game was successful, but I think they've already met all of the backer goals. Like,
unless they are testing these things out for potential inclusion in the sequel, and it's cheaper than coming out with a demo. Like one of those Final Fantasy demos where it was basically a focus test.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was. Like with you, I just give me the sequel. I'm happy you're appeasing people, but honestly, does the Switch version even run it yet? I don't know.
No one knows because no one's playing this anymore. But then there's also a second version of Classic Mode, which will be paid DLC when that comes out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the more you know. Assassin's Creed recently had a trailer showing off their 15th anniversary.
Oh, I did not see that.
It's funny because there's 30 games for that franchise, but it's been 15 years.
Yeah, honestly.
They announced Ragnarok is getting some free DLC. The next year of DLC will all be free, which is great.
Valhalla?
Ragnarok is the name of the DLC
Oh, okay,
possible
gotcha.
for Valhalla. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Or maybe it is just Valhalla.
Yes,
I might
it
have
might
wrote
be
that down.
Ragnarok because there is a portion of that game where it takes place in Valheim or fucking whatever, Valhalla.
All these Viking things, I'm confused these days.
It's so many Vikings. I'm lost.
There's going to be free DLC festivals, Armory Update, Mastery Challenge Pack, some new tombs. This summer, the team will also offer a new take on the gameplay. They're introducing a roguelite-inspired game mode called the Forgotten Saga.
Okay.
This is free, free DLC, but essentially it's kind of like roguelite. Every time you go to the mountain, it's different. It's Assassin's Creed's trying something new. Again, maybe it's just a free, hey, we don't know what we're doing, but play it for free and tell us if it's good.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that God of War rogue area, which I didn't do in one of the Iffelheims, where it's...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I didn't do any of that.
They explained that to me in God of War, and I said, well, I'm not going to do that.
Right. Yeah.
I will draw the line somewhere.
God of War Chalice Dungeon. No thanks.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Ubisoft also announced the release of the standalone version of Discovery Tour Viking for the Xbox and PlayStation consoles, as well as Stadia. Yeah, the studio has partnered with McGill University in Canada to develop curriculum guides for teachers and students, which will be available online for free to make the most of Discovery Tours, Egypt, Greece, and now the Viking Age.
That is really cool.
This is the coolest thing I think Assassin's Creed has done.
Yep. I dabbled in Origins when they came out with their educational mode, and I really, really enjoyed it because I actually like the historical aspect of these games for some reason. That just helps. It's I mean, this is one of the things I kind of lead into, even though sometimes they play with the history a little bit. It is actually pretty edifying. So,
well, that's one of the main draws of the franchise in general. I can now, when I see aerial shots of ancient Egypt, I was like, I know the layout of this.
Yes.
Which there is like the geography is burnt in my brain. Granted, that's spread out and it's kind of crammed together or whatever, but it does teach you things. And I absolutely love that that discovery mode, which granted, there's a lot there and it's not for me, not all of it, but there are people that just want to learn more about, ancient Egypt, or because I haven't even played Odyssey or Valhalla yet, which I will, but it's
my God. It's 8,000 hours.
I know my brother's listening. You should definitely beat Origins and unlock Discovery Mode, because I know my sister-in-law is obsessed with ancient Egypt, and you don't need to be a gamer to enjoy. It's just nice that they take time to make things factually accurate to an extent. So I think that's really cool.
That is cool. Yep. Good on you, Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Good on you.
And Assassin's Creed Origins receives an update as well, 60 frames per second. And there's also a free weekend going on. And rumors of an Assassin's Creed 1 remake have started. They're going to be announcing more things, but...
Oh, God.
Let's remake everything.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Certainly, there have been more recent games that are getting remakes, so why not fucking do the first one?
Can they make Desmond interesting in a remake?
Oh, man.
Even with Troy Baker, I don't know if they would.
They will try. Will they get Kristen Bell back? I don't know. Nolan North, he's coming back?
It's going to be Chris Pratt.
Yes.
Yep. Chris Pratt and Tom Holland as Kristen
Mario.
Bell and Desmond.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if I would do that, if I would play that, if that rumor turns out to be true. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that Altair has a good spot in my brain, and I don't need to revisit that because it will not necessarily age well, but I guess we'll see what a remake looks like.
Yeah.
If it is happening. Capcom had a showcase recently on June 13th. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak.
What?
There's a lot of those games. I don't play them.
Yes, I've never played a Monster Hunter, and I will probably never play a Monster Hunter. I'm glad Dylan's not here to say, oh, you really need to play one.
Does he play them?
I think so.
Okay.
I know he's mentioned it before, so.
They're big on the handhelds, and I know that they were on like the PSP and the Vita, and
well, the more recent ones were on like console, and I mean they made Capcom a lot of fucking bank.
It's a popular franchise. It's like, I want to say it's 4-player fight monsters together.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's their most popular franchise by a large margin.
Wow. I take it for granted because I don't know that much about
it's a whole different world, baby.
Do you like Monster Hunter? Let us know.
Please.
Capcom Fighting Collections coming June 24th. If you want 10 fighting games that I haven't heard of 9 of them, but
Street Fighter.
The Street Fighter is the one that I've heard of. It's got Hyper Street Fighter 2, then it's got like Vampire Savior, Hunter, Super Puzzle Fighter, Super Gem Fighter, Cyberbots, Red Earth, Darkstalkers, Night Warriors. A lot of Darkstalkers titles, it looks like, and a few Street Fighter things, but
interesting.
I don't care.
Okay.
Street Fighter 6 has been announced at pretty much every showcase.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw a trailer of that.
What are your thoughts on that?
Not a fighting game guy per se, although Street Fighter 2 was a rite of passage for people my age with an SNES back in the day. But yeah, I haven't played a Street Fighter game since 2. So
yeah, it's weird that they're adding an open world element to the game. It's one of those things where that's not what the game's about, and it's probably going to have awkward running around, limited interaction, bad dialogue, and ladder sequences that don't work. I can't imagine it will be great, but whatever.
And
they're mixing it up, so I appreciate that, I guess.
Yeah, and people are speculating from the trailer that Mike Hagar is dead, and it's because there's monuments, and there's a stadium named after him.
Okay.
So he's the mayor from, or the guy from Final Fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Street Fighter character as well. Are they this?
He's never been in a Street Fighter game, I don't think. He's been in Saturday Night Slam Masters.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think he's ever been in a straight up fighting game outside of that wrestling kind of game. But apparently he's part of the universe, the multiverse. So, and I don't know.
So we're sad, is what you're saying.
Maybe he's dead. Yeah, I don't know.
They recently announced Guile. I think that was at the summer, one of the other showcases. Mm-hmm. Guile's redesign. He has overalls, and his hair has never looked more dumb.
Yep. Everybody's roided up to the max.
That's
every
not new.
Character.
Although Chun-Li looks smaller than usual.
Yeah.
They made her a lot more feminine and like tiny, which I used to like roided out Chun-Li as one of the most, but I actually don't play these games anyways.
Big thighs.
Yeah. Just everyone.
Enormous.
E Honda's got big thighs too.
He does.
Yeah. He looks great in those like swimsuit books they make for Street Fighter. Wow.
Yeah. He's got a really fast hand. I guess. I don't know.
This is us discussing everything we know about Street Fighter.
I'm
here.
happy that it seems like the community is pretty positive on this game now after that logo reveal that came out that looked like a iPhone notification where, the SF6, where it looked like you had 6 emails.
Yeah.
But ever since this trailer came out, I think people are now pretty positive. And I know, I think talking to a guy, he was pretty positive that this game actually takes place after the events of Street Fighter 3, or was it 2? A bunch of the games have been prequels.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So this is like one of the first games to be actually after set in current timeline.
We'll finally know what happens to Dalsum.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
I've been waiting 15 years for this.
Man, he's got to have arthritis.
Yeah.
Hard.
I don't know the lore of those games, and now I want to less.
I will continue to not know. Just roll with it. Just roll with it.
Exoprimal was like put in that Capcom showcase as well.
What's that?
This is a team-based game about fighting dinosaurs, different character classes, a lot of shields. It kind of looks like a horde mode type game, except it's dinosaurs. Looks
like Jim Henson's.
I wish. Come on now. That's a game that I would play. I'd be like, holy shit, finally a game I'm into.
That would be awesome.
It's just a deforestation simulator.
Right. Yep. This is what would happen. Yeah.
The end of that show was sad. He actually causes the dinosaurs to die, I think.
That's insane.
I don't know. It's been a while. Brian, you're listening, you know.
Right. Send us the DVDs, the complete series.
I'll look it up on YouTube. I will not watch an entire series of dinosaurs, but Exoprimal doesn't look exciting to me.
Okay.
I
like dinosaurs.
Jurassic World is proving that. I guess it's doing well.
Okay.
And but I do like dinosaurs as well. But just the visuals in this game just looks like garbage to me.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. What you know? What Dragon's Dogma? Do you know about that at all?
I know a little bit about it. I never played it at the time that it came out. So that was kind of what Capcom's take on like an Elder Scrolls kind of type game, I believe.
Yeah. It's the 10th anniversary a few weeks ago. On June 16th, they announced Dragon's Dogma 2. I don't know if it's more of like a strategy RPG or something like that.
I'm not positive. Like
they made an announcement like it was a big deal, and
Yeah.
I was sitting there. It's like, do people like this? I don't know what this is.
I always got that one mixed up with Kingdoms of Amalur game, because they all came out kind of the same time and they all had like kind of the similar aesthetic. I think Dragon's Dogma was pretty well regarded. Not like a AAA kind of like wow A+ kind of game, but a solid B from role playing fans.
People that like it.
Yes.
Well, good for you. There's another one coming.
Yeah.
Very exciting up next.
Uh-oh.
Resident Evil Village. They have finally announced the DLC, which it's been a long time since I played that game, but I've been waiting for this announcement for some time.
Yeah. With the baby DLC, the baby's all grown up.
The baby's all grown up. I did not expect this as the DLC. The Shadows of Rose is what it's called.
Yeah. I did they have a trailer for this?
They did.
They did. Okay.
Sequel story. Rose travels to the realm of consciousness where she meets a girl identical to herself. Time and space is warped. The world even attacks her, and she's guided by a spirit who writes on the walls, who's named Michael. Not the story I was hoping for. No. So I don't even know if she goes to the village, but she's reliving the village in another consciousness. Weird. That, the metamycete and the spores have probably traveled into her, and since she's the daughter, I don't remember if she was conceived. Or she must have been conceived after 7, and then she's stolen. But something about the way the spores are working in her brain, she can travel to, I believe, the village in her mind. Which
interesting. Okay.
The shop guy, I forget his name.
The Duke.
Yes. He looks like he's a bad guy in this, which I'm curious about that. But
he should be a bad guy.
Yeah, we don't know nothing about him other than how did you get back here? Because it doesn't make sense. He just travels around that place, and he is in spots that I can't imagine him getting to.
Exactly. He's a guy. He has a man on the inside.
He's controlled by little robots.
He's got some mold on the inside that can just let him pass.
And the DLC all third person.
I heard that too. Okay, well, that's interesting. That's a very interesting angle.
Yeah,
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing that they announced. Third person is now going to be available for the entire game. Ethan Winters, you can play the entire game in third person.
I don't know. I don't think that game would be as effective in third person.
Well, they're adding new animations, and they're changing some aspects of how the game plays to function that way.
Okay,
it's not just a one-to-one thing.
It's not just like, okay, we're going to put a new, the camera and change nothing else.
And to me, all right, it's like, all right, you're doing this. Give me first person options for 2 and 3 then. If we're going to go one way, I also don't want to lose the first person aspects, because I loved 8. 8 was my game of the year, and
I liked it too.
Yeah, we'll see. I know that Ryan was on the Discord. He mentioned he was super bummed about the DLC being in third person. He's like, why would you do that? The game was really good. I guess
I want to agree. Yeah, as of now, I'd agree with Ryan. But Capcom, come surprise us.
And the DLC story seems like it's leading into revelations, like the bad part of Resident Evil lore. Living in the consciousness, attacked by like a goopy realm, like the world attacks you at points. And this is not what I've been looking. This isn't what I've liked about 7 and 8.
No, this isn't fucking Alan Wake.
And 2 was amazing. I haven't played the 3 remake, but I like it in the more grounded, like just crazy zombie realm. But I don't want to go into going into the realm of consciousness.
Yeah. 3's a solid play. Definitely should play if you haven't played it yet. And that game starts out in first-person mode.
And if you haven't, Resident Evil 7, 2, and 3 are now available on the PS5 and Xbox Series X with 4K, higher frame rate, ray tracing, and 3D audio. Free upgrades available to everybody.
Wow.
So that's great.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know Resident Evil 3 has been on Amazon for like $15 for a while. So
cool.
Just go buy it and get the free upgrade.
Absolutely. Yeah. As much as I liked those games, I don't know if I'd go back and replay them. I guess for me, they just don't have the... I liked my initial playthrough, and that was good enough for me.
I played through Resident Evil 2 twice. One for each character.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not feeling a strong desire to go back and play again. But I would do it for 3. Anytime they want to give us free upgrades, I will take them.
Oh, yeah.
And they also announced the Mercenaries additional orders expansion for Resident Evil Village, arcade-style action fighting hordes of enemies, featuring new playable characters, including Heisenberg and Lady Dimitrescu.
Jesse.
I thought they would use the Heisenberg from the game, but they actually brought in a Breaking Bad crossover.
That's right.
Which is great.
Yeah. I'd play that shit.
Lady Dimitrescu, you're like... They actually put the camera like 10 feet higher, so...
Right.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it, but that looks fine. I don't know. The Mercenaries is always like a really fun afterthought that I'll play for an hour or two after I beat the game.
Yep.
And then I will move on. It's just a good way to get the last bit out of my system.
Sure. Yep. I will put it on for 15 minutes, be like, yep, this is exactly what I thought it was, and bye-bye.
It's like some people need more after... eating their meal and they don't realize they're full, so they just keep eating a little bit more and then they're uncomfortable about it. That's kind of what the Mercenaries has been to me.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I beat most of it for 7 actually, which is weird. And Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
They've shown quite a bit about that over the camera, like the shoulder angle is returning because we weren't sure if it was going to be all third person or they might do something else with it.
Oh, right.
And they say it's mostly going to be faithful about what people love about the original. Some modern tweaks.
Yep.
I'm excited because I've never played Resident Evil 4 because I kind of missed the boat on that one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. There is a boat in that game, by the way.
Whoa.
And you totally missed it.
I wasn't there for
apparently.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. I've been wanting to replay it. I played it. I still got my GameCube. I was a day oneer on that one. So... yeah, it looks all right. I did watch the trailer and they said, it was going to stay faithful, but they were also going to, remix a couple things or change some things here and there, I guess, just to keep, the faithful on their toes a little bit, which is, I'm fine with. They, at this point, they've done such a great job with the other remakes. I'm excited about this one, although this one will be the first one, I think, that's already been... It was a game that was already in 3D, so the remake it won't be quite as drastic as the remake from 2 and 3.
And back to the original GameCube 1, when they remade that. I'm excited. I think Resident Evil 4 is what a lot of people say is one of the greatest games ever, one of the best games in the franchise. People go crazy for that one. And I'm also very excited for them to have to come to the realization, well, do we remake 5 or do we start remaking 1 again?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think 1 is definitely on the table for a full remake, just because the last couple the remake that was released a couple years ago was just basically a remaster of the remake that came out in 2002 or whenever that was. So yeah, that one will definitely get a treatment at some point.
But do they do 5 and 6, or do they move into Revelations?
I could see
Code Veronica. I could see Code Veronica getting a remake.
Yes, yeah, I would love to see Code Veronica. I played through that once on the Dreamcast, and I loved it when it came out because that was the first game of the franchise that I played that was fully 3D. Even though it played like the old games, the environments were polygonal, and I loved it. And I don't know. They've done such a good job with the remasters or the remakes lately. I'm willing to give them the come on, Capcom, just give me it. I trust you. We'll see.
Yeah. They've made a lot of really good decisions with Resident Evil.
lately. Yes, they have. So and good on them, because there was a long time of shitty decisions.
Yeah.
Just not great.
Well, 7, just like from the ground up, like we're going back to the roots. And then I think 8 wanted to lean into 4.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. European village, crazy werewolf monsters. Sign me up. I'm in for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So overall, for the Capcom showcase, I mean, I think they did really great.
Yeah. They showed what they needed to. And Resident Evil, that's coming out spring, right? Or something like that.
Which one?
Was it like March? Resident Evil 4.
I didn't put it down.
Okay. I think it was like first quarter.
It's around the corner, yeah.
Yeah.
I somehow managed to skip a whole number, a whole section to get to Capcom. We didn't even talk about Square Enix.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just kidding.
Square Enix didn't do it. Did you watch any of this?
I did not watch any of the Square Enix. I did not.
What I love about the Square Enix showcase is like 10 minutes long. They came in, they're like, this is what's up. Goodbye.
Yep. That's cool.
Which is, I thank you for appreciating my time. There wasn't a 20-minute showcase on their mobile game, which they could have done.
Right.
And I'm glad they didn't.
Or showed like 30 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
They did that last year.
They didn't mention it once for this. They're like,
I bet they didn't. Yeah, they sold that fucking company.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is going to be running on the Steam Deck, coming to Steam July 17th.
Okay.
There was a very brief, like 30 seconds, some new merchandise you can buy in their store. They're like, we know you don't want this, but 30 seconds buy.
Can koozies,
Buster Sword clocks. You got it.
Right on. Tchotchkes galore.
Stuff you don't need for over $100.
Right.
Come to the Square Enix store.
God, who's it's and what's it's galore.
There is one thing on the Square Enix store that I desperately want. It is Emo from Near Replicant Automata. They have little ice makers for his like little round head.
Oh.
Yep. And
okay.
Those actually look really cool, but I cannot justify $30 for little ice cube makers.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but they look cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII First Soldier is entering its 3rd season, the mobile game.
Wow, third season, I haven't even heard of this at all, so good for you.
It's a mobile game. I played it for like 20 minutes when I was really bored one day. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Mobile games are a thing, and it was really bad. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, their other mobile game.
Oh, God.
Closed beta coming to mobile this year.
Thank God.
Essentially, I think it's just like Baby's retelling of all the Final Fantasy VII story, just made super simple, but...
Oh, okay.
That cow is almost dry, Square. You have milked almost everything out of Final Fantasy VII. But wait, there's
almost more. Yeah. Oh, there's many years of Final Fantasy VII coming.
Crisis Core, Final Fantasy Reunion, was announced. A full remake of the game from the PSP. That's coming out this year, which is surprising that it's soon. Dialogue is now fully voice acted. I don't know if they had to renegotiate the likeness for Gact, the famous Japanese pop star who plays Genesis or Angel or one of those fucking Phil Collins types.
Yes. Yeah.
It's coming to all consoles, even Switch. I don't know. I really liked Crisis Core on the PSP.
That was well regarded, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, people like that game. I think it was the only good thing that came out of the compilation of FF7 back in the day. Mm-hmm. When they're like, we are back because we don't know what to do.
Sure.
Yeah. They really ushered in the age of the milking a franchise.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy for you, Brad.
I'll play this. I'll play Crisis Core when it comes out.
Yeah, you will.
I'll wait till it goes on sale, actually, though. I mean, I'm in no rush.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did they ever remake Dirge of Cerberus?
No. Okay. They're afraid of it. They know that is the wonkiest, most... It was like Square trying to be Kojima without having the talent.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And I've beaten Dirge of Cerberus. I beat that game.
I believe it.
It was the reason that I got a surround sound system because I heard that was the first. It wasn't like that was the first game there. It said like 5.1 surround sound compatible, and I was like, I wonder what it'd be like in a video game. So I got a super cheap set and I just hooked it up. But,
nice.
Yeah, the PS2 had surround sound capabilities on some games.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yep.
Surround sound's cool. That game though is not.
I'm sorry, Brad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They're still afraid to mention that game too much, and they also announced Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh, there we go.
Because
now we're getting into
much like The Matrix, we must have RE in the beginning of every sequel.
Damn it.
We can't just say anything else. It's got to be.
You can't say part 2.
No, Remake Part 2. No. This is Remake Integrate Redux Part 4. The Happening.
These fucking people. Just stop.
Yeah, stop.
Just stop.
Stop them. They can't keep getting away with this.
Seriously, man.
I'm very excited for this game.
Oh, I mean, I'm semi-excited. I mean, I'm going to keep playing.
You liked Remake enough, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I really did like that game a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. And I want to see now where it goes. Are they going to do the, pull the rug out of under people's feet like they did at the end of the game and just completely change things? Or are they just going to pretend they're going to duck and weave, but they just stay the course at the end of the day?
Yep. I have a feeling it will closely follow the events of the original FF7, but it will be different. There will be new events. There will be changes. And I mean, if you weren't hyped enough, they teased that Sephiroth might cut his hair short. So,
whoa.
Yeah. So we're all excited here. We're on the Sephiroth short hair watch.
Roxas. I don't know why.
I think maybe Kadash would be more likely. And the fact that we know these names makes me sad.
Yes.
I
just know the names. That's it.
It was surprising, though. We haven't heard anything about this game, and it's announced comes out winter 2023, which a lot of people were like, it's been 3 long years since 7 Remake came out. And I said, I remember that game was announced 8 years before it happened. So 3 years doesn't seem like that long of a wait to me. I honestly am surprised at how soon this is coming.
Yeah, let's see if it hits that date. I mean, now that they have all the groundwork done, I can see it definitely being a quicker turnaround. But I don't. Whenever any company these days, especially Square, announces a date, is always taken with a big grain of chocobo dandruff.
Yeah,
because I don't fucking believe shit.
Yes. They announced this is a trilogy. There will be...
That was nice of them to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
But now we just know.
Yes.
Yeah.
There will be, probably epilogues,
DLCs.
325 divided by 7.
Just calm down with your naming conventions.
Yeah. I don't know. But I was actually kind of shocked that they said they gave a definitive... or at least sounded definitive, yes, this will be in 3 installments. Because initially I just thought they didn't have a plan. It was probably going to go to maybe 5 or 6. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows what'll happen, but
I don't know.
I'm happy that it's announced.
But absolutely, I will play the shit out of it. I really liked the first or the remake, the first part. So
yeah, so that's good. We're going to take a quick break to hear from some of the other amazing shows from the HyperX Podcast Network.
Yeah, that's great. I love all the shows on the HyperX Podcast Network.
I'm a huge fan of all of them as well.
Yes.
So we're going to hear from some of them and be right back.
Okay.
Do you love Japan and video games? Well, so do we. We're Kinsey and Mark from Kyoto Indie Devs Chuhai Labs. Join us twice monthly for games, silly Japan news, and all-around nonsense. We stink at making commercials.
We fucking got this one, bro.
Be sure to stop by the Chuhai Labs Discord to chat about our games or ask us questions.
Chuhai Labs and the Nasty Labs podcast. We're legally the best.
Need some adventure in your life? What Mad Universe is a podcast where 2 guys delve into the history of sci-fi, fantasy, and horror, and the impact it's had on pop culture.
Everything's the same politically, but we have ray guns.
The actual motive isn't to explore something that's, quote, scientifically possible.
But neither is Star Wars, and I know there's arguments about that, but I would definitely consider Star Wars science fiction.
You haven't read Dune!
No, I haven't.
You can never be the Kwisatz Haderach.
What Mad Universe on the HyperX Podcast Network.
Eliminate clutter and embrace the freedom of HyperX wireless gaming gear for PC and console. Power through all the great monthly PlayStation Plus games with the Cloud Stinger Core Wireless for PlayStation. Enjoy lightweight comfort with reliable wireless freedom, so you won't miss plot points when you head to the fridge. High-quality HyperX wireless products can be found at most fine retailers, as well as online at Target, Micro Center, Best Buy, Amazon, Walmart, or shop directly at HyperX.com and HP.com.
And we're back, everybody. Welcome back.
Those are good shows.
Yeah, pretty awesome shows on this this lineup.
They've really upped their ad game these days. You know, the ads have gotten a little better.
Well, it's strange. Since you left, Tom,
Everything's got
listenership has gone up across the whole network. I don't know.
I don't doubt that at all, actually. I know when I was bringing the things down, so yeah.
You had like a lot of fan.
Yes. I took my mom and she doesn't listen anymore, God damn it.
She's done.
Yeah.
Cancel. Unsubscribe.
Exactly.
Write a negative review once Tom left.
Oh, boy.
I wish you did. That'd make me very happy. Not long ago, Tom, you had us over at your brand new house.
Yeah, the brand new 8,000-year-old house.
Yeah.
We had a little powwow, little I wouldn't say a soiree, but we had a little watch party.
A longer watch party than I anticipated. When I came over, I didn't know it was a 90-minute showcase.
Yeah. You're like, what? This is what, 20, 30 minutes?
Because that's what you expect.
Yeah.
Kind of. I don't know. But this, for all intents and purposes, is E3 now.
Yes.
A lot of these showcases. Nintendo's good at doing many smaller state of plays, or what do they call them? Directs? They call them directs. Yep. PlayStation's do the state of plays, but this was, and it's the Xbox and Bethesda. Yeah. Which is strange to me that they have to say that it's Xbox and Bethesda. Can't they just have Bethesda be part of the Xbox showcase?
I didn't understand that either. You know, maybe that was just like a legacy thing. Just to remind people, like, hey, you're gonna see Starfield but going forward, I just don't see them sticking with, because next year they're gonna have Activision. So is it going to be Xbox Bethesda Activision?
Do you think that
should be Xbox? That
deal I hear is in a weird flux right now.
I haven't been paying too much attention. I haven't really heard anything of the contrary. I think there were a couple of speed bumps.
Well, I know that Activision Blizzard recently announced that there was an investigation into Activision Blizzard, and they found that Activision Blizzard had no misconduct.
Oh, yes. I did see that. Oh, of course.
That's like me in the morning saying, Brad did nothing wrong while he drank last night, verified by me, Brad.
Yep.
Don't look at the cameras at the bar.
No.
I can say that 100% Brad is a good person.
Right. They did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I should know. I was there.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what they're going to do. They should just change it to Xbox. It's going to be the Xbox. Come on. Or the Game Pass.
Xbox and Bethesda and Activision and Game Pass Showcase 2023.
Yeah. They should just list off all the developers. Like, that'd be funny.
So they announced 10,000 games.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Yep.
And
for better or worse.
I think it's nice that there's probably something there for everybody.
Yes. That was a pretty wide array of genres, of representation, of a bunch of game styles. What
were some things that stuck out to you the most from watching that?
Some people are pretty high on that Redfall game. They opened up the show on that with that
20 minutes.
20. It seemed like it probably was
at least 10. I want to say,
yeah. That doesn't really look like my jam, even though I'm a big Arcane fan. So that one didn't resonate with me. I know Dylan got a chub with the whole Hollow Knight thing. Not a Hollow Knight guy.
Have you played Hollow Knight?
I played it a little bit, and it's one of those games where I could see myself playing this for longer, because it's a Metroidvania, Souls-like, and so why wouldn't I? But for some reason, it just didn't keep with me.
I played it for like 20 minutes when I got it back in the day, and I was like, it looks cool. It didn't It didn't click then, but I know I have to play it for Indie Games Month coming up.
Sure.
And it's ranked as many people's favorite Metroidvania, one of their favorite games of all time. I mean, so I think it's definitely worth
people
putting
like
time
that game,
into.
Love that game. Or people who love that game, love that game. What else was there? I mean, besides, there's bookended by Redfall and then Starfield. I liked Hideo Kojima's game. Looked fucking spectacular.
He was there.
He was there, yes.
And he said, I am here.
I am here. Microsoft is paying me a lot of money to be here, and not on Jeff Keighley's podcast. Yeah.
And then they didn't cut away before he said, "Can I get the money?"
Right.
Yeah. And then they cut away. I looked into this. It could be a rumored horror game named Overdose. Yes. Tom Henderson from Try Hard Guides said that footage of the game. Right?
I love it.
I don't know what that is, but he said that footage was sent to him anonymously. Features the actress who plays Mama in Death Stranding. Wearing a blue dress, she walks through a scary corridor carrying a flashlight in third person.
Lindsay Wagner?
Margaret Qualley.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And there's a jump scare, and it says, a Hideo Kojima game, Overdose. There are rumblings that will feature the first-person perspective as well. We don't know anything about this.
Nope.
So I
wonder how much Kojima knows about it.
Well, yeah. I know that I saw on Instagram, Kojima Productions just was like we're hiring, come work for us. So, I mean, even they can't get anyone to work.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But maybe
it's a tough economy.
Maybe they're making 2 games. Maybe they're making a Death Stranding 2 and Overdose, because I know Norman Reedus said that, we're making the next game.
He pulled a Reedus.
Yep.
God damn it. That guy just can't keep his mouth shut.
Yeah. You think that wouldn't happen. You know, you think that I was like, all right, sign your contracts. We can't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's common sense. I still remember when Ian McShane was in Game of Thrones and he started talking about it, and everyone's like, you're not allowed. He's like, it's fucking titties and dragons. I don't care.
Oh, I love that, man.
When you get reprimanded and you still say, fuck you.
Right. Yeah. I'm fucking 80 years old. Fuck off. What else was there?
High on Life looked interesting.
Oh, the Rick and Morty thing.
It's one of those things, right? This isn't Rick and Morty. Yes, it is everything about the universe that you love and the voices and the weirdness, but it is not Rick and Morty. But it is Rick and Morty, the creator anyways.
Sure.
What looked most exciting about that game is that the guns all talk with you. Like they look back at you while you're shooting, and they comment on what they do, or they say like, those are my kids. I can make lots of them. Don't worry about it. And you just shoot the kids at things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looked all right.
It looked like a unique take on a first-person shooter, which...
Yeah.
Well, yeah. One of the things also... Well, I'll wait for reviews. I don't need to pre-order.
Yeah, we'll see how long it is. We'll see how long like the novelty lasts in that game. If if the shtick gets a little too long in the tooth, or if it's just the right length, you know?
Yeah, because on my PSVR, I played Accounting Plus, and that game perfectly paced. It wasn't too long. If that game was 10 hours long, I would probably have killed myself.
Sure.
It's just... I can only handle so much of those voices, and some of the humor becomes grating after a while. It's like one of the reasons that the Rick and Morty I have seen, I'm like, it's great. In and out, little episodes. But do I want to live in that universe for an extended period of time? Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I know Dylan made the comment when we were watching that it looked a little bit like Oddworld's Stranger's Wrath, because in that game you get some weapons that don't necessarily talk to you, but use live ammo. You know, and they're constantly making faces and just like jittering. So it kind of had vibes like that. I thought the same thing. But yeah, I'd check it out. And the other thing is, all these games that they showed, I believe all of them are going to be on Game Pass.
Yeah. So that's great.
Yes. So there was a lot of games. So
yeah, and we can just check them out.
Yeah.
This was the cheapest showcase out of all of the showcases, because I already have Game Pass, so I can play all of them.
Right.
Surprisingly,
in 2023 or 2024.
Starfield coming to Game Pass day one.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, wow.
Well, I mean, all the Microsoft's directive is all first-party games will be available day one on Game Pass. So
when do they increase the price of Game Pass? Because the hooks are getting in pretty good. They will increase the price.
Probably after Activision goes through.
$50 a month? Because what is it now?
No.
30?
No.
What is it now? $30 a month?
I think it's 20.
Okay.
I think it's 20.
I have part of the Series X. I got the payment plan when I bought the system.
Okay.
So it's like included in like the price. I don't even remember what I paid.
It's 15 or 20. It might be 20 for like the Ultimate, where you get the PC Game Pass and the console Game Pass.
Sure.
Whatever. For me, it's like it's a no-brainer, and it should be a no-brainer for most people. If you have an Xbox and you don't have Game Pass, like, come on. Or do you have an internet connection?
Yeah.
There's I'm not here to shill
excuse
for it, but honestly, yeah.
Yeah. And I know you haven't checked out the PlayStation Plus Deluxe.
Have not.
Because you don't play your PlayStation.
I did turn it on this last week. The lady and I, we are playing through the Quarry, the new... what's the people that made Until Dawn? Those guys.
Not Supermassive?
No, it's Super something.
But
maybe
it's part of the Dark Pictures anthology. There was more of this shown in the summer game showcase. I haven't watched the trailer specifically because I know I will play this game.
Yeah. Well, this is like their first. So the Dark Pictures anthologies. Not to skip ahead and
no, let's skip ahead. That's Until Dawn, Man of Medan.
Well, okay. So Dark Pictures anthologies are like the Man of Medan. There was Little Hope, and then there's another one called like Dust or House of Ashes.
Okay, yeah.
So they're like the smaller episodic ones. Until Dawn is, I don't think it's part of like that universe. It's like a full game. Like the other ones are smaller. Like the Dark Pictures anthologies games are a smaller bite-size kind of games.
Are they more based on they can branch out more? Because I've heard, I think it was Man of Medan. It's like it's a lot shorter, but it can do much more thing. Like you can go different directions.
Possibly. We just played it through once.
Okay.
And all these games once, and that
you
was
played
playthrough.
You played all of them.
I have House of Ashes downloaded, and we didn't get to that one yet, but we've played through Until Dawn up until we played through Little Hope, and now we're playing The Quarry, which is their first full length game since Until Dawn. So
I have been craving those games so much lately. And I haven't played any of them but Until Dawn, but for some reason I've been thinking about it a lot. So I do. Sadly, I missed the sales and the prices have gone back up on them.
Yeah,
but I do want to pick up all of these games because those are ones that Carly and I can sit down and play together. But what are your thoughts on The Quarry so far? So far,
we're about, I would say, 2 hours in. It's a camp, it takes place in like a camp. There are a bunch of teenage camp counselors.
Okay.
And David Arquette is like the head guy.
The head actor that they could get to come be part of the franchise.
There's a couple recognizable faces. I know Ethan Suplee's in it. We haven't got to. They show like the cast, the credits at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
But so far we haven't really got to a lot of the horror outside of like the first opening scene. So it's TBD, but it seems to be the same kind of, no pun intended, camp and mixture of, just raging hormones. And like it takes place at the end of camp where all the kids have gone home and all the camp counselors are ready to pack up and leave. And I think they get stuck at the camp one more night, but camp isn't what it appears to be.
What? I thought they were just going to pack up and leave.
I know. Yeah. So we'll see how that pans out. But they're a lot of fun for us, and they're fun if you play with the couch co-op with a bunch of friends, and it's cool.
Well, when we played through Until Dawn, I was still playing that type of video game where like I need to save everyone, I want everyone to be good people, and I want to help everyone out.
Oh, yeah.
And I was listening to Watch Out for Fireballs, really old episode about Until Dawn.
Yes.
And Cole Ross was like, I just want to make them the worst people possible.
Yeah.
And I was like, why haven't I been playing these like horror movies where people are horrible, like real catty, bad teenagers? And so that's one of the reasons I want to go back in is play them like schlocky horror films, which they're based on.
Yeah,
and that's what makes them fun. And I'm super excited to check out The Quarry at some point. I do want to play through the other ones probably before that. Next time I see them on sale or something. But
yeah, I think the Man of Medan series, some of those have been on Game Pass before.
I think that they were, and I missed them.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
They might pop in and out.
my only thing that I have qualm with Game Pass is things will get removed and they don't just tell me that they've been removed, or they don't just put like an X on my games, because I have a hard drive hooked up, so I download everything.
Oh, right.
And then I'll go to a game that's downloaded and like, oh, you don't have it. It's like, you could have told me that you were removing things. Or
Fuck you, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Cancel your subscription.
Fuck it. Here's my money. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Yeah. Forza Motorsport got a lot of love in the Xbox showcase. Those games look great.
Look good.
Not necessarily something I will play a lot of. I know Dylan said he would play a lot of these.
Yeah, I've played every Forza Motorsport, and I will definitely check it out, because I usually have I got a good about 8-hour threshold ish for these games before I'm kind of like, okay, I'm done. But yeah, they're great podcast games. Sometimes you're just in the mood for that game where you can just like zone, still get the gameplay experience, but you don't have to pay attention to like Cyberpunk or Disco Elysium, where you have to fucking just be in it.
What's one thing I loved about the Series X is the way it hooks up with Spotify. I was able to play Assassin's Creed Origins and listen to my own music. You have to go out of the menu and just hit Spotify play or whatever. But then I just turned the music off in Origins, and I had my own music playing, which is something I used to do on the original Xbox.
Yes.
Because you remember back, you could like plug in a USB drive or whatever, and then I would be able to listen to all of my favorite pop punk and play Rally Sport Challenge 2.
Man.
And that's, I think, podcast. If you want to listen to Hair the Dogcast while you play Forza Motorsport, you can.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about the Dogcast, because I listen to that the minute it drops. So
yeah,
and never make it to video games.
You do it in a dark room so you're not distracted with the Dogcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Facing a mirror. No reason in a dark room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, Forza looks good. I'm still wondering, because they were talking about, okay, it's going to be all these ray tracing and 4K now that it's made.
Said it's any time of day.
Right. Now that it's made specifically for Series X. These games are historically pride themselves on running at 60 frames a second. So does that mean they're going to actually be able to do ray tracing at 60 frames a second? Because that would be a game changer, because now, at least at the way things stand now, if you want ray tracing in games, usually you have to choose between performance mode, 60 frames.
You can't have both.
Or if you want the graphic bells and whistles, you got to bump it down to 30.
I hate that. Why? Why do they say that they have these things if you have to choose?
I know. I will take frames all the time.
My PlayStation 5, I remember I tried to play Remake Intergrade, and I'm like, all right, let's crank everything up to full fidelity, and it chugged. Frames are dropping everywhere, and I can't. It's unplayable, is what it is.
Sure.
You can take pretty pictures, but it is unplayable if frames are dropping.
I bet.
Yep. So I always go to performance mode. I want to be able to play the game.
Yep. For me, I can. If you start me out at 30 frames a second and don't show me what the game looks like at 60 frames a second, I'll be fine. But if I play the game even for 30 seconds. On a performance mode where it's playing at 60 frames, nice and smooth, and then bump it back down to 30, to me, it's just then it becomes unplayable, even though I've played it at 30 frames for hours.
Yeah.
At that point, it's just like sludging through mud. So, anyways, I digress. I'm a frame boy.
It looks great, though.
But yeah, I will definitely play Forza. Yeah.
More exciting to me is Forza Motorsport 5 is getting a Hot Wheels expansion. I thought that looked pretty cool.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. Just big old Hot Wheels tracks out in the desert.
Yeah, man. Is that out already, or is that coming? When is that coming out?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Because I'm down for that. I always wanted to play that Hot Wheels game that came out last year.
Yeah,
a half ago.
People say it's good.
Yeah, and I never got around to it. And this reminded me of that. And I'm like, oh shit, man, that's cool. I want to do loops. I want to go through a snake's head.
Yeah,
fuck yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. And Flight Simulator is getting more updates. I would love a dream rig. I would love massive monitors and flight sticks. I don't have that. I play with a Series X controller. this game, I think for me, like I couldn't play it because just like there is such a steep learning curve to play it on a controller, where I think if you had some simple flight sticks and dedicated buttons or like a Steel Battalion controller, it would make sense.
Oh, I don't know, man. It might be the opposite. Have you played any of the Flight Simulator?
No, this is my first real one.
Okay. Yeah. They at least give you the option to dumb it down, like to your liking. There are tons of just accessibility options, but also like controller options. So you can turn it down, like just make it control with use the 2 sticks and maybe like a trigger, and you'll be fine. So.
There's still so much to that game, though. I don't know, but
yeah,
I would love to play with a nice rig. Vintage planes are coming.
Yes,
like, that's super cool.
The Wright brothers.
I imagine they'll be terrible to control as well. Probably harder to control.
Yeah,
and why not put Halo in everything?
That was funny. Yeah, and not surprising, or it was surprising, but. You're like, of course.
Yeah.
They're going to put the fucking, what is it called?
That's the Pelican.
The Pelican, okay.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll put everything else in there. And Halo's coming to Fall Guys as well, if you weren't happy enough already.
I forgot about Fall Guys.
I saw someone made a post earlier. Halo is getting DLC on every game except Halo Infinite.
That's funny.
Fallout 76 DLC, Elder Scrolls Online DLC, very exciting. Elder Scrolls Online looks fine. That's not a game I don't play, but Fallout 76... Did you play that at all? You're a Fallout person.
I did download it. That's one I played for like 15 minutes. And this was probably around after it came out. Or actually, I did not pay money for it. So it must have been like when it first dropped on Game Pass. Yeah. No, not for me.
There's some other great things. We don't have time to talk about all of them. Pentiment is a narrative journey set in the 16th century. That looks cool.
That looked really cool. Yeah. What's his face from Obsidian? Josh. One of their like really good writers. The guy's been there forever. He's been rumored on working on a new RPG with a small team, and for years now. And this is what it is. And it looks like a medieval storybook.
Yeah.
Supposedly no combat.
That's I don't need combat for a game.
But I love the style, and I'm in when that comes out. I'm going to try it out. It kind of looked like one of those Ubi art games that came out.
Yeah,
like Valiant Hearts on that order. But
in the midst of 1,000 games that looked like Flintlock Siege of Dawn,
God,
anything that just has a different art style, you were immediately drawing me in. So this one just stuck out big time.
Yes. Yep. No generic first person.
Cocoon looks good as well. That's from the Inside Limbo people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't tell much about what was going on gameplay wise, but it
looked like a Zelda-ish isometric. Was that kind of like a top down?
Yeah, and it looked like a unique game. So it didn't look like Flintlock Siege of Dawn.
Unique, the game.
Yeah, where they just had 10 different words up on a board and they just throw things like Siege of Dawn.
Right. Yes.
I want to go over a few things in the Summer Game Fest, but as far as Xbox, Diablo 4, they announced a character. Great. Super exciting.
Yeah. Necromancer.
Yes. Diablo 4. We'll see what it's like when it comes out. That's been getting created for a while now. I'm not a huge Diablo person. I know you played quite a bit.
I only played Diablo 3, and I think I mentioned to you guys.
You were bedridden.
I was bedridden and just taking like a year-long Vicodin vacation due to like pain issues. So it was like the perfect zone out game. And that's when I first started listening to podcasts, like, in any capacity. So it was like the perfect game because you just sit there. I just sit there with my mouth open and just like, hold, not even click the trigger. You just hold down the trigger and your guys just
run around.
Yeah. So it was like, now that I'm healthy and I don't know if I'm going to, because I bounced off Diablo 2.
When I think about some of the concerts I used to go to when I was in my 20s, I was like, if I was sober now doing that, I don't know if I'd enjoy them as much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. So we'll see, but I mean, it'll be on Game Pass, and
we'll check it out.
They have great cinematics, so I'll definitely check those out.
Persona 3, 4, and 5 coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
that's cool enough, and allegedly it got leaked today that it's coming to Switch as well.
Oh, really?
So that's great. I don't think these games are graphically too demanding, so I think it could play on the Switch.
They were PS4 game or PS3 games.
Yeah. But the fact that 3 and 4 are getting proper ports to consoles is very exciting.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had, there's no way for me to play 4 outside of, I don't have Steam and I don't have a Vita.
Right.
So I'm excited to play 4 finally, which Dylan loves.
And you're sick of years and years of people who played 4 Golden.
Just yelling at you. How dare you have fun with 5?
I played this and you didn't. Yeah. It's the best game of all time. Well, we'll see about that now, buddy.
Oh, you like Joker? Fine. Okay. You just haven't played the real games.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm excited to play them.
Yeah. That was a cool announcement.
Starfield,
yeah.
I thought it was underwhelming. It looks fine.
Yeah.
They didn't show us. I mean, it looks like a first-person game where you're going to interact with characters. You're going to go explore places.
Yep.
I don't trust the words of Todd Howard. When he says there's 1,000 planets to explore, I don't... What does it mean, Todd?
Yeah. I think he gave... he did an after-show interview with IGN that I did not watch, but he did clarify some things, apparently. The fact that I think they asked him if you'd be able to fly to each of the planets, kind of like No Man's Sky style, and he just said no.
At least he's not doing the No Man's Sky thing and saying yes.
yes, it will make you breakfast. Yes. I went into it. I don't know. It kind of met my expectations. I did not expect a fucking technological revolution out of Bethesda.
Yeah.
They are married to that engine. They keep like putting new features and, a new coat of paint on it. But so I didn't really expect it to be just this fucking amazing, graphical showcase. It didn't look bad to me at all. And it looked like a Bethesda game.
To me, it wasn't about the fidelity. It was just about the design. And it didn't look bad. It looks a little more unique than a lot of the random sci-fi games we got.
Yeah.
But it didn't get its hooks in me. I don't know enough about what the story is that I'm in and I'm engaged for some reason.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 1, Saren's a bad guy. The Reavers are coming or whatever, the Reapers. I'm like, that's good enough. I'm in. But I had something I knew that was happening and I was engaged. So I guess I want a story trailer that really explains more of who maybe my character's nobody, but what is happening to my nobody.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be nice. I don't think you're alone in that sentiment, but yeah, I'm down for it. I'm ready for a new Bethesda game. I'm happy that they're not doing the voiced protagonist this time like they did in Fallout 4. So they have a little more leeway with your dialogue options. And your guy doesn't constantly come off, or girl come off like a fucking constant asshole.
As long as some guard took a laser to the knee, right. I will be happy.
Yeah.
Summer Game Fest with Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, this I did not watch at all, but I kind of got bits here and there of stuff that was revealed.
There wasn't a ton of super big things. Aliens Dark Descent had its world premiere.
Okay. That's a
XCOM style top-down strategy game.
Is that for Axis?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah. Like XCOM style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alien.
And I don't know. I didn't play Isolation, which a lot of people say is a great game. Dark Isolation or just Isolation?
I think it's Isolation. Never played it either.
And I actually am not too familiar with all the Alien movies. I haven't seen all of them, but this was a world premiere and
yeah,
good on them.
That's cool.
I guess a lot of the problems I have with a lot of these trailers is super cinematic. Whoa, is that Wolverine? And they don't show any gameplay.
Right.
Speaking of Marvel's Midnight Suns, Spider-Man's coming to your Xbox. Here's Wolverine. Here's this. And then the end is just Hulk being a bad guy and screaming. Oh, and they don't show any gameplay. And I went and found a separate gameplay video, and it's a card-based combat turn-based system thing.
Okay.
And it just, I was like,
I've heard about, this was announced a while ago, so I do remember a little bit about that. But so did they show?
They didn't show gameplay at this Summer Game Fest. You can go and find like a half an hour long full battle.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't work on me for that little gameplay thing. I don't know. It's hard to show off a turn-based, like XCOM style, whatever it is.
Yeah.
In a 5-minute trailer that makes it look as badass as you want. I guess there probably is. People don't want to take that risk though, so it's always cinematics, and it does. Yeah. It's I don't know.
Is that one for Axis too? I want to say. Man, I don't know. Anyways,
I'll look it up.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, Marvel's Midnight Suns got that, as well as Gotham Knights got a new trailer.
Okay.
My favorite quote, my favorite question I put on the Discord. Does anyone have any thoughts? Josh said, "What is Gotham Knights?"
That's a game. Yeah, that's a game where I just keep forgetting exists.
Marvel's Midnight Suns is a Firaxis game.
Okay.
I don't know if Aliens Dark Descent is. Dark Descent.
Because those guys know how to make a fucking strategy game.
Aliens Dark Descent.
Dark Descent is developer Tindalos Interactive.
Amnesia game? No, well, I'm in somewhere else. Maybe?
Yeah.
No, yeah. I was at Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Oh, also a great game.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, Tindalos Interactive.
Okay.
Must be a new-ish company or something.
Gotham Knights had a new Nightwing trailer. Again, not a lot of gameplay, but Christopher Sean, friend of the podcast, one of our co-hosts, did a backflip with him on stage one time. He's the voice of Nightwing, so he got a trailer.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
He sounds great in the game.
Yeah.
This is a game, though, that I will wait to know more about.
Batman's not in it.
Well, he could.
This is post-Batman?
This is post-Batman, but this is not in the same universe as the Arkham games. Whereas the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League or whatever, that is in the same universe as the Arkham games. Because Rocksteady's making that.
Right.
If you like cinematic superhero shit, check it out.
Do it. Do it.
Modern Warfare 2 has a new trailer.
Oh, is it Pete Davidson? Is that the one?
Pete Davidson? Is he involved?
He was in one of the trailers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is just, I didn't see him in this one.
Okay. Or a commercial, at least. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe it's smart because I would have been less interested if he was.
God damn it.
Josh.
Pete, just go away for a little bit. It's fine.
Just disappear a little while.
It's okay. Yeah.
Do some voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
Josh in the Discord said he was a huge Modern Warfare fan, so he's not upset about a comeback.
Yeah.
This game looks cool. I actually had a desire to go back and play some Call of Duty story mode, which I've always enjoyed the story modes enough. I'm never going to play them online, but...
Me neither.
They're really good at making colorful hallways and set pieces, and the guns feel good in those games.
Yep. I was also a big fan of like the first Modern Warfare. I was a big Call of Duty fan from day one, like the first game.
PlayStation 1? Was that the first one?
PC.
Okay.
Yes. And because it was Medal of Honor came out first, and then Call of Duty kind of was an offshoot of that. People that made Medal of Honor created Infinity Ward, and then they came out with Call of Duty. And I was a huge fan, so I evangelized that franchise in the early days. Like, you got to play this. It's it's fucking intense. It's like one of the most intense experiences I've ever played. And then 4,000 games later, I was just kind of like, yep, fucking
remember World War II,
death taxes, and a Call of Duty game.
Yeah,
those are the only inevitable things. But I did like the reboot of Modern Warfare. I like playing the campaigns like every 3 years. I'll just pop in and see like how the technology's evolved. Usually I don't know it 10 minutes in, I have no idea what the story's about anymore. I don't think they do. They just like come up with like, what would be a cool level to go to, design the levels. And then, all right, let's make a story that incorporates.
We haven't done for a while? A tanker level.
Right. Yeah. A sinking tanker level.
Yeah.
But, Soak McTavish is back. I don't know. I probably would play.
It's funny that I remember that name. I haven't played in a while, but
yeah.
Call of Duty does have their beloved characters, I guess.
Yeah, and now this time, this should be, well, maybe not, because the deal wouldn't have gone through. I was going to say like it should be on Game Pass, but it might not be.
Maybe it will be eventually.
It will be eventually for sure.
Have you heard anything about Fort Solis?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
The world premiere for this game came out at Summer Game Fest. Yeah, look up who the developer is, because it's a smaller developer, but Troy Baker and Roger Clark star in this new game.
Boy.
Sci-fi PC game, touted as a tight thriller that feels like Dead Space meets Duncan Jones's Moon. And when I hear that, I was like, all right, so you're going to go with survival horror in space. Why do you mention Duncan Jones's Moon movie, which I love? That's a Sam Rockwell, Kevin Spacey one. Did you see that movie?
I did not see Moon.
Oh, you got to see Moon.
Yep.
But
what's it called? Fort Solis?
Fort Solis, Solis. Solis. Fort Solis.
Oh.
It's from a smaller developer, and I guess Troy Baker and Roger Clark, they signed on because they were so into the concept that was put out by the creative team. And there's a lot of survival horror happening in space right now between Scorn and Callisto Protocol. But this one, after listening to Baker and Clark talk about it for a while, because they were there with Keeley, it sounds interesting. And they said it's incredibly narrative, focused, which I can appreciate.
Okay, it looks like I just from the screenshot, I'm like, is this just like video logs of an abandoned spaceship or something? Okay, Fort Solis is developed by the newly founded European indie studio Fallen Leaf, as well as Black Drakkar Games. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty cool.
It was funny too, because they brought Troy Baker and Roger Clark up there, and Troy talked the whole time. Roger Clark just kind of like, yeah.
Right.
He's just there nodding. He's like, it's good.
It's good. Yep. Just like my character in Red Dead.
This was, they didn't show a bunch. They talked about it, but I'm curious. I'm excited. I'm paying attention. So we'll see. Cool. But I guess it's just a PC game, so I might watch a playthrough online, since I will not be able to play it until it gets a port.
It'll get a port.
Cuphead had a DLC trailer. I have avoided every trailer for this game I possibly can, because if I only get 5 new bosses, I don't want to see anything about them beforehand. I don't know if it's 5 or 8 or whatever, but
it is the delicious last course.
We've been waiting a while, and the developer said, we don't want our staff to feel overworked or stressed, so we just took our time.
That's cool.
I guess you can do that if you're small enough and successful enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on them.
When is that coming out?
June 30th, the DLC drops. It is around the corner.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Okay.
Very excited.
Great. I can't wait to be angry at my TV.
It's supposed to be very challenging. Reviews are coming out, and people are saying, yep, it's as good as you think it's going to be.
Oh, wow.
So, and new playable character of Miss Chalice.
Yes. That's cool.
New weapons and stuff, but mostly it's just, I get new awesome animation. I just want to see new bosses.
Right.
Yeah, because that is one of the most creative boss rush games I've ever played.
Oh, absolutely. I loved it. I loved it a lot, even though, there were plenty of controller smashing moments. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah. Didn't you play it on a treadmill?
That's how I beat it. Yep.
We mentioned the Quarry, so we talked about the PlayStation State of Play on a previous Dogcast. Go check that out. We talked through everything there.
Nice.
The last thing we need to talk about is Last of Us.
The
TV show is wrapped filming for HBO. I am neither excited nor not excited for that. I will wait until it comes out, and then I will watch an episode. Hopefully it's as bad as the Halo show. Because that was a hot mess. But Last of Us Part 1 Remake was announced.
Yes, it was. I watched that trailer.
Yeah? What'd you think?
Yeah. I mean, it looks a lot like the remaster. Little prettier models, I guess. Character models, environments. But I probably will not be playing this. Yeah. Not that I don't like The Last of Us, but just
it hasn't been long enough to do a remake, in my opinion. I don't know. I mean, they've already done a remaster.
Yeah. I mean, the remaster was 2014, so I guess
it's been a while,
maybe. But it looks really good. Like the remaster looks really good.
It just seems creatively bereft to do a remake of. Just do something else. Do something new. Do something exciting.
Yeah. I heard like people are speculating like this is just to kind of tie in with the TV show. So, to kind of capitalize on get some sales off of people who are watching the show.
Yeah.
So they can play through the story. I don't know. They're charging $70. That is, I don't know if that's been confirmed or not. But no, don't want it.
I've never beaten a single Last of Us game. Maybe it'll happen eventually, but
yeah, they're all worth playing through once.
And there were many other smaller showcases, many other things announced in the past month that we missed. If we didn't mention any of the games that you thought you were excited about, please reach out to us.
Yeah,
we would love to hear about it. We're hairthedogcast@gmail.com, hairthedogcast on Instagram, at hotdogcast on Twitter. Write us a review if you can. We'd love to hear from you.
Go to Patreon, you stingy bastards.
What Tom said. I agree with what Tom said.
Patreon.com. Hair the Dogcast. Come on.
You stingy bastards.
Just kidding. You're all beautiful people if you're listening.
You're more beautiful if you give us the low price of $3 a month. Get access to all of our episodes early. Get access to bonus podcasts like our movie podcast, Popcorn Dogs, which that's at the $5 tier. And we'd love to have all of you join us on our Discord, which there's a lot of really wonderful people. Special thanks to our executive producers, Ryan Christianick, Tyler Keller, Kip, Brian Ward, and Katie Bone. We appreciate your support and everyone else who supports us any way they can. And
absolutely.
HyperX Podcast Network. Check them out. We're great. They're great. Podcast.hyperx.com.
Great microphones.
Great microphones.
You want a podcast? Get yourself a HyperX Podcast microphone.
They work great. And I'm wearing them now.
Yeah, that's right.
Looks nice. How do you know Depends works? I shit my pants. Yeah, because I just did.
And I just did.
And one for the road. I'm just going to let Tom take care of this right now.
Oh, I forgot the one for the... I didn't come prepared. Man, I forgot the format. Who came up with this fucking shit?
I know, right, Tom?
Jesus.
Do you have anything that you want to recommend you've done recently? Read, watched, experienced?
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to recommend a book that I am, for all my friends out there who are fans of the Monty Python. I don't know if there's anybody here who likes Monty Python, but I'm a huge fan, and I've read pretty much all the biographies of all the individual members who have actually written one. I think Eric Idle's Always Look on the Bright Side of Life is really good. I'm listening through the second time now. It is on the audiobook format. He's a great narrator, and it's just a really quick. It's a quick read. And I'll give another. It's a quick read, but it's very entertaining. And I'll also go to bat for Quentin Tarantino wrote his first novel based on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, a companion novel to the movie.
Yeah, I have it. I haven't started reading it yet, but
it's really good. I love how he. I love how it complements the movie. It's not a strict retelling of the movie. You will get similar. You know, there were some scenes that are in the movie and in the book, but some of those scenes are told or experienced through a different character in that scene. And there are other, you get fleshed out characters. Like Cliff's story is just, he's like the hero of the entire book, Brad Pitt's character in the movie. I just like how the book will allude to things that are in the movie that aren't in the book. So they
complement each other. So
it's not just like a novelization of the movie.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really, really well done. Good job, Quentin Tarantino.
I like that it also just looks like a $3 like crappy little paperback, which I like that he went for that aesthetic for it.
And I'm an audiobook whore, so the audiobook is read by Jennifer Jason Leigh. And she does a really good job.
Awesome.
Really good job.
Tom, thanks for coming back and
no problem, man.
joining the Dogcast, which you created.
This is my first podcast since kind of taking a hiatus, so it feels good. It's like riding a nice, soft, comfy bike.
And the bike would love to have you back when you're ready to come back, probably in 6 months, at some point.
At some point.
And my one for the road, go check out Big Spoon. They're playing all over everywhere in Wisconsin. They're great.
Yes. Had 2 shows this week. I'm surprised, or this weekend, and I am surprised I still have a voice. So All right, things are looking good. I don't know.
Things are looking good. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Eliminate clutter and embrace the freedom of HyperX wireless gaming gear for PC and console. Power through all the great monthly PlayStation Plus games with the Cloud Stinger Core Wireless for PlayStation. Enjoy lightweight comfort with reliable wireless freedom so you don't miss plot points when you head to the fridge for a beer. High-quality HyperX wireless products can be found at most fine retailers, as well as online at Target, Best Buy, and Amazon, or you can shop for them directly at hyperx.com and hp.com.